I just got sued for parking a fire truck in front of my house. Yeah, a fire truck. Not blocking anyone's driveway, not leaking oil, just sitting there looking glorious in the morning sun. And not just any truck either, a 1990 Rescue 7, the same model I used to ride back when I was still on the force. It's old, sure, but I kept it clean, running, even waxed it once a month. That thing was my pride. But to Sandra Mitchell, our beloved HOA president, it was apparently a threat to civilization. She slapped me with a $5,000 fine within 24 hours of parking it. Said it violated community aesthetics. That it was a commercial vehicle. Then she jacked the fine up to $20,000 after I didn't move it. $20,000 for parking in front of my own house. At first, I thought this was just Sandra being Sandra, the same woman who fined my neighbor Joe for having a bird feeder too close to the sidewalk. But something in the way she reacted, like full-on panic, told me this wasn't just about rules or appearances. This was personal. And that truck, it was the reason. Let me back up a sec. I bought Rescue 7 at auction 6 months before that morning. It wasn't just nostalgia. That truck had been pulled out of service after a warehouse fire a few years back. Big deal at the time, electrical fire, burned the place to the ground. I didn't think anything of it until I saw Sandra's face the day I packed it. She was walking her dog, Lotte in hand, when she saw the truck and just stopped. The mug hit the pavement. Shattered. And she just stood there staring at that burn mark on the driver's side door. A star-shaped scotch. I always thought it looked kind of cool. But to Sandra, it was like seeing a ghost. Turns out, it was that fire. The one that made her $2.1 million richer. The one she orchestrated. That truck had been there when it all went down. And buried deep under the hood, behind the air filter, was a little black box, a recording device. Not standard issue. Something more covert. I only found it when I was checking the engine the next morning, blinking red light and all. And I swear to you, not 2 minutes after I touched it, Sandra came running across the street, yelling about electrical hazards and how it was dangerous. I mean, the desperation in her voice, it wasn't about safety. It was fear. Pure and simple. I took the device inside and connected it to my laptop. And just like that, 47 seconds of audio popped up. Dated August 15, 2019, day of the warehouse fire. Static, yelling, then. Her voice. Clear as day, pour the gasoline. Break the windows. Let it burn. It wasn't even subtle. She was giving orders. I called Maria Stevens, a firecracker of a lawyer I'd seen crush a corrupt HOA president in a neighboring town. Within 2 hours, she was at my house with a laptop, audio software, and a look like she already smelled blood. We cleaned up the recording. No doubt. Sandra Mitchell, our rule enforcing, grass measuring, mailbox finding queen, was on tape giving us an orders. That night, Sandra showed up at my door with a briefcase full of cash. $100,000, just like that. Said she wanted to buy the truck for sentimental reasons. I told her no. Politely. Her face, I wish you could have seen it. Twitched like she was about to short circuit. She screamed, right there on my porch, "I'll do whatever it takes to get that truck off this street." And she meant it. Because 2 nights later, she snuck into my driveway at 2 a.m. wire cutters in hand. Lucky for me, unlucky for her, my neighbor Joe had installed a brand new security camera system after some kid stole his Amazon package. He caught the whole thing, Sandra creeping around like a cartoon villain. Police showed up before she could even pop the hood. Now here's where things get crazier. Maria dug deeper, and we found a pattern. Sandra had pulled this before. Multiple properties. Fires. Insurance payouts. All neat, all fast. One victim, Mr. Williams, retired teacher, thought it was a freak accident when his garage burned down. Turns out, Sandra had renovated it right before the fire, helped him boost his insurance, then walked away with most of the money as a contractor who lost tools in the blaze. But the real game changer was Tommy Rodriguez, a former handyman Sandra paid off for the original fire. He got picked up on unrelated charges and flipped. Gave Maria text, dates, everything. Messages like, next job, same plan. Get it done before end of month. This wasn't just a rogue HOA president with a grudge. This was organized fraud. Arson. Racketeering. By the time we got to the HOA hearing, the place was packed. Everyone who had ever gotten a fine or a nasty note from Sandra was there. She showed up with a $500 an hour lawyer in a designer suit, smiling like she was untouchable. Then Maria hit play. The room went silent. You could hear people breathing. And there it was, Sandra's voice, cold and calm, let it all burn. Fire trucks coming. We need to go. When the tape ended, there was a long pause, and then an elderly woman in the back whispered, she did it. She really did it. Joe just said, knew it. Lisa, the mom down the street who once got fined for having wind chimes, started crying. You could feel the entire room shift. Sandra tried to play it off. Claimed it was deepfake audio. Said we edited it. But then Maria brought out the receipts, gas purchases, contractor payouts, surveillance footage of her late-night driveway visit. It was over. She was arrested that night. A few months later, the trial started and it was a media circus. Sandra hired a whole new legal team and tried to spin it like she was the victim of neighborhood jealousy. Said I was a bitter ex-firefighter with PTSD and a grudge. But the jury wasn't buying it. Between Tommy's testimony, the recording, and all the financial records, it took them less than 5 hours to come back with a verdict. Guilty. On all counts. Sandra Mitchell, once the terror of Oak Street, sentenced to 22 years in federal prison, with no parole for 15. Her mansion. Gone. Her cars. Auctioned. The HOA. Rebuilt from scratch. And that fire truck. Still parked proudly in front of the community center, cleaned up and turned into a mobile fire safety unit for school kids. I was elected HOA president a few weeks after the trial. By a landslide. First order of business. I cut 90% of Sandra's rules. Cancelled lawn height inspections. Reduced fees. Then I used part of my legal settlement to start a non-profit, the Fire Truck Foundation, to help others take down corrupt HOA boards like ours. So yeah. They sued me over a fire truck. And that truck brought down a criminal empire. Funny how life works. Now, here's where I want to hear from you. Do you think Sandra was just greedy, or was there more to it? Was she protecting some bigger secret we never uncovered? And more importantly, how many other communities have people like her running the show? Drop your thoughts below. And if you've ever gone toe-to-toe with a power-drunk HOA, I want to hear those stories too. Because sometimes, the thing that exposes the truth is hiding right under your hood.